From the week's national headlines to the top stories to issues that affect you. Catch it all in one snapshot from the news leader. ZNS News Week in Review, Sundays at 4:30 p.m.
Hi there. A lot is happening in education, and that's why the Ministry of Education wants to keep you abreast of the latest information. So here's how. MOE provides a variety of programs, including Ed Talk, Ed Up, Ed Tidbits, Ed Table Talk Unplugged. Log into this channel, the Bahamas Learning Channel, MOE's Facebook page, and YouTube channel. We want to keep you in the know.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the Communications section of the Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training in conjunction with this channel.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! I want you to understand something. Your children's education is very important. Don't pay no mind to this COVID-19 pandemic. Your children still gotta have their education. You hear me? The Ministry of Education still got their virtual school going on, you know. The reason I'm talking to you about this is because more than 8,000 Bahamian children ain't never log on to classes from March 2020. That's a long time for children to be without their education, you know. The mind is a terrible thing to waste. Now, the ministry needs you to ensure that your children log on and stay on. You know, plenty other children getting their education, you know. They logging on and they staying on. Where your children is? What gonna happen to them? You need help? Call the school. Call the teacher. They just waiting to help you. So make sure the child register, they log on and stay on. And check on them every so often, man. And make sure they ain't skylocking or sleeping. And one more thing, just make sure you ain't up and down past them children in your morning clothes with your cocktail. You see, they gotta log on for attendance and in order to do their school work so that they could graduate with the Bahamas National High School Diploma. Our Bahamas need every child to live up to their potential. And parents, it starts with you.
This public service announcement was brought to you by the Communications section of the Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training in conjunction with this channel.
The ZNS community page now has its own home on Channel 230. Be sure to tune into this channel to see informative notices, funeral announcements, birthday greetings, and much, much more. So watch the ZNS community channel today on Cable 230.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the Communications section of the Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training in conjunction with this channel.
Hey, Smith, what's up? You finished marking midterm yet?
Hey, man, I'm right here trying to finish up these papers right now.
At least you start. I have not begun. I am waiting, parents giving me answers and giving me reasons why they can't send.
Brown, hold on. Check if that might be you, Brown.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Girl, listen, as parents right now, send me my work email, WhatsApp, calling me. Just let me know work a minute.
Hold on a minute. Did you say email?
Yes.
Brown, listen to me. No one should be emailing you any work. That is what the LMS is for.
Listen to me. Whatever works for me and makes my life easy for me and my students, that's what I'm going to do. Email is how I'm getting my work.
Listen to me. The Ministry of Education implemented this so that it can make our lives easier, The school can monitor the LMS. We can monitor the LMS. The parents, Listen to me. You're able to upload live worksheets. You're able to see when the children log in and log out. You're able to see if they're absent or present. If you use this system, it makes your life so much easier. You need to get with it.
Listen to me. You are the team leader, not me. You are the teacher of the year, not me. So it is my job to do what is best for me and to make it easy for me and my students. And right now, email is the easiest thing.
Listen to me. Once you use the LMS, you will be singing a completely different tune. That is just how easy it is.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. And if you say you're going to help me get it done, then I will try. But other than that, it ain't going to happen. LMS with me is going on, teaching, and getting out.
Brown, listen, don't worry. I got you. I'm going to help you along with this, all right? I got you.
As long as you say you're going to help me, then I'll wait on you and I'll sing that same tune.
This public service announcement was brought to you by the Communications section of the Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training in conjunction with this channel.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
President of JAGS International issuing a warning to travelers purchasing fraudulent tickets. Plus, the September opening of the new junior high school in West Grand Bahama is delayed. And are females becoming as active in crime as men? We'll find out. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. We begin tonight with a ZNS exclusive, a suspected fraudulent ring happening between the United States and the Bahamas, where Bahamians are allegedly operating as travel agents under false pretenses. According to the president of JAGS International, tickets are being purchased for the Balearic Caribbean using stolen credit cards belonging to U.S. citizens and then resold to unsuspecting customers at half the price. As Simone Davis reports, one of the alleged suspects is reportedly a former female employee of the local travel agency. Here's that report.
President of JAGS International Services, Senator James Turner, is warning the general public against purchasing fraudulent tickets to travel to the United States on Balearic Caribbean. According to Turner, there has been a fraud ring between the Bahamas and the United States, where Bahamians are operating under false pretenses and purchasing travel tickets for supposed customers using stolen credit cards belonging to persons in the United States.
We've discovered that there have been some unusual activities taking place with tickets associated with Balearia. What we've been advised of is there are persons in the community that are indicating that they have a special rate, a $200 rate for tickets on Balearia, which is not so. We've also learned that these tickets are being purchased with stolen credit cards. So what is happening is a Bahamian would think that they're getting a deal from somebody at home. They show up at Balearia, and when they get there, they discover that the ticket is no longer good. In fact, we are now realizing that there are a number of persons that travel, they get out of Freeport, but when they're coming back, they're being greeted by the U.S. authorities asking, where is this credit card that you used to purchase this ticket?
Turner says one of the alleged suspects is believed to be a former female employee of his company who has not worked with them for more than a year. He is urging Bahamians wishing to travel to use credible travel agents to avoid being scammed and potentially having their travel visas revoked.
And then there's a threat of losing your visa, because if the authorities determine that you are a part of this ring, then you will definitely lose your visa. I'm warning all Grand Bahamians, because there's no reason for any of our folks to get caught up in that. There are a number of authorized outlets in Grand Bahama where you can purchase tickets from. I'm encouraging you to do that. Don't let anyone tell you that they have some special deal that they're selling from home, because you and your family will pay an unpleasant price. You can lose your visa, you will have to buy tickets all over again, and that's not a good feeling.
Turner says all parties have been alerted about these activities, and the matter is now under investigation in the Bahamas and the United States.
We know that the authorities in the United States are continuing with this investigation, and we know that the Bahamian authorities are also now getting involved with this investigation. So I'm encouraging all of our folks out there Grand Bahamians, let's be wise. Let's be sensible. There's no reason to be buying trouble from somebody on the street. Go to a source where if something is wrong, you can go back to their office.
Now, Turner says he was asked by officials of the Bel Area to issue a public warning about this situation while they are conducting investigations. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Simone Davis.
Well, the Rehabilitation of Offenders Committee hears applications from young and first-time offenders. Board member in the Northern Region, Pastor Barry Morris, says in many instances, women are the subject of these cases, while noting that culture mainly depicts men as perpetrators of crime. He says women are becoming just as active in criminality as men. Our Raven Davis has more.
For years, the Rehabilitation of Offenders Committee has been assisting young people and first-time offenders with having their records expunged, essentially giving them a second chance at life. Many of these offenders, women, an unprecedented reality that board member of the Northern Region, Pastor Barry Morris, says is concerning.
Just as men are active in crime, women are becoming just as active. And in my view, sometimes the women, not only are they involved in crime, but sometimes they are the brain box behind it. I had dealing with a young man, counseling with him to find out that his grandmother was the one who was sending him into people's homes, sending him into the mom and pop stores that are in the community, and making him steal.
Society predominantly viewing women as victims rather than offenders, given multiple factors at play.
So you wouldn't look for women to be engaged in such things, but much to my surprise, women are heavily engaged in the peddling of drugs. They're heavily engaged in firearms and any number of crimes, and some heinous.
While poverty and other economic factors are a contributor to female criminality, Morris points to a diminishing of morality, noting that the work of the church and other civic organizations makes this inexcusable. A major problem, he says, is simply a lack of discipline.
You're going to give me some money, but I'm not going to do what is necessary. When you tell me, okay, listen, I can help you to get a job, but you're going to have to come, you're going to have to do this program before we can give you the job. No, I don't want to do the program. I just want this. So many persons want the goods, but they don't want to go through the process. And the process is necessary so you could know how to value the goods you're getting.
Morris notes that while the committee has been effective with helping individuals to make a positive turnaround, society has to model the virtues of uprightness implemented from times past. For the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Well, in other news, a financial expert calling for the review of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement tonight. He shares why that review is important and what needs to happen if the Grand Bahama Port Authority is found to be in breach. Simone Davis reports.
The financial expert says in order for the magic to return to Freeport City, the government and private entities involved must be honest about the role that the Hawksbill Creek Agreement plays in the development of Freeport. He says before the economic decline on Grand Bahama, there was a clear mandate between the government and the private sector. But now it seems as though the camaraderie between the two no longer exists, which he believes is negatively impacting the economy.
We have to really very methodically look now and determine, is the current construct of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement the most appropriate? Are the tax concessions that are currently laid out in that the ones that benefit the country? Can we have an actual private enterprise responsible for regulation when it is also a participant in the very economic activity that it is supposed to regulate?
The Hawksbill Creek Agreement was signed on August 4th, 1955, between the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority. The HCA gave GBPA the responsibility for the development, administration and management, and provision of services within the port area. Bo says the purpose of reviewing the Hawksbill Creek Agreement is to determine if the port has kept their end of the bargain, and if not, the contract is in breach and should be terminated.
And so if we are looking at how do we bring an end to the Hawksbill Creek Agreement in its current form, that is going to have a financial cost. But we need to ask ourselves, is the cost of the current construct, which appears to be holding back Grand Bahama, greater than the cost of breaking the contract?
The Fidelity CEO says if there is a cost to pay for terminating the contract, it would be worth it because it would be in the best interest of Grand Bahamians.
When we look at what is the responsibility of the private enterprise responsible for regulations, have they met the commitments that are set out in the agreement? And if they haven't, there's a financial cost to that.
Now, this has also been a hot button topic across social media. While some persons question whether or not the Port Authority is responsible for the stagnation of Grand Bahama, others are calling for the government to acquire GBPA. There are also some who say it may not be in the best interest for the government to take over. In an indirect response to some of the concerns, Prime Minister Philip Davis says his administration is working on a plan to fulfill the potential of Grand Bahama. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Simone Davis.
Well, the countdown is on to the NACAC Open Track and Field Championships here on Grand Bahama. Overall, hundreds of visitors are expected to arrive on island, which will provide an economic boost, both direct and indirectly for many residents. Well, in this report, Jay Philippe tells us how the anticipated arrival of these visitors from around the world is expected to stimulate the local economy.
In just a matter of days, the North American, Central American, Caribbean Track and Field Championships, better known as the NACAC Games, is expected to take place at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. Not only will it serve as a major sporting opportunity, but it would also serve as a major economic injection to the island of Grand Bahama.
This is going to be a tremendous economic stimulus in the economy because, you know, we've been down for almost 2 years. And this is 2 consecutive years. So it has been very rough for us, but we thank God that something is in the pipeline and it's looking excellent.
So far, a number of athletes and visitors have arrived on the island, with hundreds more expected to travel to Grand Bahama within the next few days. This is just what the island needs, as these guests from over 25 countries will provide a much-needed boost to Grand Bahama.
We could make sure all our air conditions were working properly, bus was pristine, and drivers was well, groomed and everything. And we're ready to go. We're ready to move on day one. We look forward to meeting a lot of new faces and getting some new contacts. And hopefully we'll make this thing even an annual thing. And even more on that, we'd like to contact them so we can bring persons in between as well for different sporting events on the island. Heads and beds, that's what it's all about in Freeport, Grand Bahama.
Sports tourism is one of the fastest growing markets in the tourism industry and is receiving increased attention for its social, environmental, and economic impacts. Local organizing committee chair Perez Cooper.
Not only do we have the hotels, we're in the proximity of Port Lucaya, we have vendors at the event. It's an opportunity for us to have the opening door for us to have other events in the future. We want to use this fair as a stepping stone. We're trying to make this not just a track meet, but a welcoming venue for athletes to come in to know that maybe when they're on their vacation, they could come back again. So we have a slew of opportunities and things that's going on during the event to keep tourists and the guests and the athletes happy.
Cooper adds that this event is in line with the government's vision to promote Grand Bahama as a destination for major events, not only in the country, but throughout the world.
Grand Bahama has been dubbed the visitor event capital of the Bahamas. So this is one of the first events that we want to use as an opportunity to showcase what we have in the Grand Bahama.
Overall, some 500 plus visitors are expected to take part in the NACAC Games, which begins on Friday through Sunday at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. For the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition, I'm Jay Philippe.
Well, thanks, Jay. Meantime, Team Bahamas making their way through the city of Freeport earlier today via a motorcade starting from the Grand Lucayan. Team Bahamas was greeted with cheers from onlookers as they made their way through downtown area en route to the Port Lucaya Marketplace. The Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Bolag, was also seen riding with the team. The 31-member team will go up against a host of other countries when the 2022 Anita Doherty NACAC Open Championships Championships kicks off on August 19th through 21st at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. In other news, the Grand Bahama COVID Vaccination Center has recently relocated from the Susan J. Wallace Community Center to the 17th Center downtown Freeport. According to Clinical Director Dr. Stacy Bevins-Lang, persons can now visit the new location to complete their vaccinations or get their booster shots.
Here in Freeport, Grand Bahama, we would have relocated in terms of the COVID Vaccine Center. We are no longer at the Susan J. Wallace. We are now here at the 17 Plaza, number 2, so you can come on in and get your vaccines or boosters.
Dr. Lang also noted that the center is also offering vaccinations for children and explains how you can register online for these services.
We are now also providing the dosage for children as well. So once you come in, if you have any questions, we have a doctor available along with the nurses that would provide the vaccines. So you can just go online to vax.gov.bs, register, and come on in.
Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight continues in just a moment.
Come on down to Dolly Madison and get your hurricane supplies before it's too late. Don't let supply chain issues cause you to miss out on hurricane supplies you need. Come on down. Now.
H&L is here for your back-to-school needs. We have backpacks that roll and backpacks that ride. We have composition books, pencils, pens, lunch bags, rulers, and everything else that you need to start your school year. We also have masks for the school of your choice. H&L is fully stocked and located in downtown Freeport, ready to serve you. Call us at 352-5470. It's the National Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited Symposium, Creating Financial Wealth Through Partnership. August 19th at 6:30 p.m. at the National Workers Complex, West Atlantic Drive and Settlers Way.
This is where it happens. Those moments that impact our lives. Giving you the information that you need this hurricane season. Wherever there is news, we're there.
So put me together, break me apart again. No doubt about
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Island of Luck continues to find creative ways to stay engaged with the community, and this past Saturday they did just that. The gaming business staged a successful back-to-school giveaway, supplying thousands of children with educational tools. Head of brands and events at Island Luck, Quasell Ferguson, says that the excitement comes from the smiles that they see on the kids' faces and knowing that they are able to make a difference, especially after being locked down from a widespread pandemic.
Today we were able to give away more than 1,000 backpacks. So again, Island Luck is going to continue its commitment to the community, and it was so great to give back and see the smiles on the kids' faces today. Our leadership is very committed to making sure that we do as much as possible to give back to the community, and of course, the kids are our future. So events like this are very important to the brand, and we're going to continue to do so.
In other news, the Freeport Container Port is celebrating its 25th anniversary of operations on the island of Grand Bahama. The company issued a press release stating that the container port is in celebratory season, and they chose to give back to the community in a special way through fundraisers and community-conscious activities. Additionally, the departments across the business, with support of the Freeport Harbor Company, showed their creativity through a number of events through the team's collective fundraising efforts. Friends from the corporate community, Team FCP, raised the funds to fully cover a one-day round-trip excursion to Baja Bay water park in New Providence. 20 children of the Grand Bahama Children's Home, as well as their chaperones, benefited from this kind gesture. Well, senior management recognized 5 long-serving employees who have contributed 25 years of service to the business during a private reception. Now, the nation's leader, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, thanked the Freeport Container Port for the pivotal role they have played in the Bahamian economy and praised the business as a model for the advancement of workers in the industrial sector. This year, the company has constructed 3 new on-site green spaces, now known as breathe zones, making its terminal greener and providing team members a space to unwind and recharge on property. Shane Stubbs has your check on sports when we come back.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Shane Stubbs and welcome to Sports. Well, the 2022 Anita Doherty NACAC Open Championships are fast approaching. I know I'm excited. I hope you're excited. But you know who else is excited? Everyone down at the Port Lucayo Marketplace for the Team Bahamas meet and greet currently ongoing. And our very own Jay Philippe is down there. Jay, how's it going?
Hey, Shane, you got it right. It's going so far, so good. The NACAC Championships is just 2 days away with some of the best athletes from around North America, Central America, and also the Caribbean, including our athletes from the Bahamas. As you can see, some of our athletes are preparing for the meet and greet, and I'm going to be joined right now by the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie. Ginger, this is a big deal for Grand Bahama.
It's a huge deal for Grand Bahama. You know, we are so excited to welcome Team Bahamas and all of the world-class athletes here on the island.
I know a lot of work went into preparing for this NACAC Championships. Can you give us a quick rundown as the amount of work that went into ensuring that this event kicks off the right way?
You know, a lot of work went into it in a short period of time. So thank you to the government of the Bahamas, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, and of course the Ministry for Grand Bahama, who stepped in to make it happen. But yes, a lot of work went into it, and we are so excited really to honor the late Anita Doherty, because it's in her honor. She's done so much for the sport, and we're grateful to have her have this under her patronage.
Obviously, this is a huge economic impact for the Grand Bahama heads and beds, something that you've been preaching about for the past year.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we look at Grand Bahama as being the events and entertainment destination of the Bahamas. And so in our Blueprint for Change, we've poised for Grand Bahama to be that, and this is just one of those events that is going to help us to achieve that goal. And so again, Sports in Paradise, and the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg, he's pushing that really hard for us. So we want to congratulate really the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture and the government again for making it happen for Grand Bahama Island. You can tell that a lot of focus is being placed on Grand Bahama and the significance really of events and entertainment for this destination.
There you have it. That is the Honorable Ginger Moxie. Now, competition starts as early as Friday morning at 9 a.m. with the 100-meter qualifications, also the 400-meter heats for the men and women. Now we have the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg, who is a sportsman. This is a big deal for Grand Bahama, isn't it?
Definitely, it's most important. When the idea came, we said it couldn't be host no place other than the Grand Bahama complex, because we know that this island needs a little short in the boost for its economic boost, and so I didn't even think twice. And I know Grand Bahama, this one's for you. We want to get the magic back in the Magic City, and this is where we began right here by having the NACAC champions led by some of our Grand Bahamians, Tania Gator, you know, a 100-meter runner, and who we expect to bring a medal home for us. And so I'm just happy to be here. Yes, you see, we had the parade earlier, and we showed appreciation for the athletes before, during, and after. It's all about the athletes.
And speaking about Grand Bahama, the sports complex went through major renovation over the past 3 months.
Well, you haven't seen nothing yet. We have some other initiatives that myself in partnership with Grand Bahama and the Ministry of Works is going to bring forward. We're going to keep that a secret, but I can tell you the Grand Bahama Complex is staged to be the sports capital of the Bahamas.
Thank you. That is the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mary Boleg. We also have Tania Gator, one of our top athletes. She was born right here in Grand Bahama, recently from the World Championships, Commonwealth Games, and she's going to be representing the Bahamas at the NACAC Championships. Tania, welcome home. Isn't it a good feeling to be home?
Yes, it is. Best feeling ever.
As far as competition, you are expected to be one of the top athletes from not just from the Bahamas, but around the world. What's preparation going like for you?
Everything's going good, just mental at this point. It's been a long season, and to finish the season off at home, I mean, there's no better way to finish my season, so I'm very grateful.
I know you haven't been here home for a while, so a lot of persons are going to be cheering you on, rooting you on, going to hear junkie music. What's going to be the expectations for you?
Just to give the crowd what they deserve, a good show. We're going to have some really good competition coming in, so it's going to be a good time. Please come out, show us some love. We deserve it and we need it.
I know you've had a pretty long season. You're almost towards the end of the season. Walk me through your season so far.
It's been super long. New coach, new training partners. I've ran 2 personal bests this season, so I'm very grateful for that. But the goal now is just to finish the season strong and then look forward to next season.
There you have it. That is Tania. She will be competing in the women's 200 meters. Also, you have the likes of Shawnee Miller-Weebu or Lonzo Russell, who is from Grand Bahama, Donald Thomas from Grand Bahama. We have the likes of Devin Shelton, junior world champion Anton Andrews in the 110 hurdles. You don't want to miss the competition. Begins at 9 a.m. Friday morning, Saturday, Sunday, Bahamas. Please come out and support Team Bahamas. Back to you in studio, Shane.
Thank you so much, Jay. And that is your check on sports. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with us for our Facebook Friend of the Day.
It's our drive. It's our resilience. It's our tenacity that makes us legendary. NACAC Open Track and Field Championships 2022, August 19th through 21st, Grand Bahama Sports Complex. World-class athletes. 3 days of intense competition, hosted on Grand Bahama Island, August 19th through 21st. Get set.
Roosnell Technical Institute invites all former students of TEC, RTI, and WGBYDA to a very important meeting on Thursday, August 18th at 5:30 p.m., Hawksbill campus.
What? Check old girl, boy. You say she getting married? Oh, man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them.
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
It's back to school with Bellevue Gifts and Supplies. Shop now and get huge savings on composition books, 15% off textbooks, workbooks, school supplies, and all teachers' aids. Bellevue Gifts and Supplies, Queens Highway, making going back to school more affordable.
It was one of the hardest hits this island has ever experienced. Hurricane Dorian decimating what many call home. Join the ZNS team as residents are reflecting and telling their compelling stories of survival and how the community has come together to rebuild Abaco. Airing August 29th through September 2nd, right here on the ZNS Network.
That's what I told her. Bring the winding thing here. This is Rick and Script, so show me emotion. Hey, wind and go down low.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Merlene Victor, you are our Facebook friend of the day, and we thank you so much for watching, and to all of our Facebook viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. Well, it's certainly going to be an exciting weekend, as we mentioned earlier. Shane, I was expecting to see you on the motorcade today.
I tried, but, just kind of fast-paced. It's not my speed, so I kind of like wanted them to have their moment.
All right. Anyway, so you're excited to see this weekend?
Definitely excited to see Tania. As far as, the foreign athletes go, definitely want to see Sharika Jackson run.
That's right. She will be here from Jamaica.
And, of course, the U.S., they always bring a wealth of talent over here, so it's going to be a very, very exciting weekend.
Definitely an exciting weekend for Grand Bahama, so don't miss it, the Grand Bahama Sports Complex for the Anita Doherty Track and Field Championships. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Ramiko Knowles.
I'm Shane Stubbs.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
It's our drive. It's our resilience. It's our tenacity that makes us legendary. NACAC Open Track and Field Championships 2022, August 19th through 21st, Grand Bahama Sports Complex. World-class athletes. 3 days of intense competition, hosted on Grand Bahama Island, August 19th through 21st. Get set.
Only one network.
This used to be the waiting terminal for the airport. It's now gone.
We have the most experienced team covering hurricane.
But when Hurricane Irma makes landfall here in New Providence in a few hours,
we cover the entire Bahamas before, during, and after the storm. One network covers every island, rock, and key. We are the best because we have the best. For hurricane coverage, there's only one network, the ZNS Network.
The ZNS community page now has its own home on Channel 230. Be sure to tune into this channel to see informative notices, funeral announcements, birthday greetings, and much, much more. So watch the ZNS community channel today on Cable 230.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, an academic achiever, the country's latest homicide victim, additional services added to the My Gateway digital platform, this week's regional climate conference dubbed a success, and in sports, Jonquel Jones and the Suns ready for the playoffs. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Superfast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
I can do anything through Christ who strengthens me. It isn't where you start, but it's where you end.
A young life gone too soon. Good evening, I'm Jiminita Swain. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks so much for joining us. 4 men between the ages of 20 and 56 years old are now in custody in connection with yesterday's gruesome discovery of the partially decomposed body of a young male. It's a tragic ending to a story of a bright young mind after overcoming insurmountable odds to achieve success in the academic world. Our Amajal Knowles was on the scene and leads us off tonight.
It was a very sad scene in the Centerville community yesterday evening as police in the capital reporting the country's latest homicide after the body of a male was found in a vehicle behind the Centerville Caribbean liquor store yesterday evening. Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson fills in the rest of the details.
The police received information of a vehicle that was parked in a bushy area just at the rear of a food store. When the police arrived, they noticed a black Honda Fit. All of the doors were closed, and they became suspicious because there were some items in the vehicle that appeared to be that of a body. We was able to open the vehicle and uncover what we found out to be the remains of a male in a garbage bag with multiple wounds to the head, face, and chest area. Our CSI persons
We collected a number of exhibits from the scene, and we're following significant leads in this matter.
Police on how long they believe the body was in that particular area.
It appears that the body is in the early stages of decomposition and could have been in the bag there for about 24 hours.
Now, while police did not confirm the identity of the victim on the scene, speaking to family members on the sidelines, the ZNS News team understands that the victim was 20-year-old Omar Davis Jr., recent double-degree graduate of Central State University who had recently returned home on break. Now, Davis's name may be familiar to a lot of the public, as his recent successes have been well documented. In 2018, he was an honoree in the Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Honors Day Convocation and the valedictorian for C.I. Gibson Secondary School. He was awarded a scholarship through the Ministry of Education's Public School Scholars Program to attend Central State University, where, as we previously mentioned, he graduated with a Bachelor's of Science degree in Accounting and Finance with a 4.0 GPA. Investigations into this incident continue. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Amajal Knowles.
The murder victim's family told us earlier today that 21-year-old Omar Davis Jr. was known for creating a better life for himself after the death of his father that happened when he was just 12 years old. Tonight they told us, or rather told our Anthony Smith, how his legacy will continue forever.
He had a bright future in this world if whoever the individual was would allow him to live.
A young, bright life cut too short.
He was my little sunshine.
But that search came to an end on Tuesday when police made a grim discovery. Initial details revealing the badly wounded body of a young male had been found stuffed into the trunk of a black vehicle off East Avenue. Police say the remains had been discarded there for more than 24 hours.
His mom, she started the search for him, and she came home from work and she realized, and that was like after 6 p.m. So when she realized, she just started calling all his family and friends to see where he were. When we knew that he wasn't answering his phone, we sure knew something was wrong. And we all went into a search mode for him.
Davis, a finance and accounting major, was back in the Bahamas this summer after completing a bachelor's degree at Central State University in Ohio. His story of triumph and success resonating with local supporters who followed his journey as he chronicled the events on social media. The finance and accounting major had just a few days before he set off to pursue a master's degree. According to his family, he had dreams of becoming a certified public accountant.
I sent out a prayer, and I just asked God to bring Omar back to us. Now, I don't know how he is coming, but however God sent him, it still gives us some kind of closure, even though it's hurtful. But we give God thanks, and that's, I could say I give God thanks. Like I said before, it's an unfortunate situation. A bright future was just cut down.
Davis's family says they will remember the young man as he was, kind, jubilant, and the life of the party. But for now,
he realized that it's him and his brother, and he wanted to make sure to be able to work and take care of his mother and his brother. That was his major goal, and that was cut short.
We stay together. Whenever it's a tragedy, we stick together, always.
At last report, police have in their custody 4 adult males for this heinous crime. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Antoinette Smith.
Our Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, extending condolences to the family of Omar Davis Jr. He issued a statement on social media last night, noting how heavy his heart is on the young man's passing, acknowledging that it's always agonizing to lose a young Bahamian. The Prime Minister reiterated his thoughts on the tragedy this morning at the Ministry of Education's annual Public School Administrators Conference.
Here, we have a young man whose resolve to escape violence had fueled his outstanding achievements in our public schools and in further education. His determination and his success reached and inspired so many. To lose him in this way, when he was about to embark on the next stage of his life, feels truly unbearable. We pray for God to wrap his arms around the family and hold them tight. Just as we pray this for all of our families And there are far too many who lose loved ones to violence. And just to say, you're not alone. The nation grieves with you. We add to our prayers our shared determination to come together as policymakers, as community leaders, as clergy, families and friends and neighbors, to do ever more to fight the scourge of violence, even when, or especially when, our hearts are this heavy. We must be relentless. One way to honor the memory of those whom we have lost is to work harder and harder to turn the tide, to create hope and healing, to prevent future tragedies.
Well, condolences to Omar Davis Jr.'s family also being offered by the opposition Free National Movement. Party leader Michael Pintard also acknowledged the young college graduate's potential to change his life around since the death of his father, while pointing out that his tragic death must collectively continue to call for and demand the senseless bloodshed and human carnage to cease on our streets. Pintard's statement concluded that Omar's determination to succeed against all odds was and will forever be an inspiration to many. Well, the candlelight vigil took place at Central State University's Sunken Garden in Wilberforce, Ohio, earlier this afternoon to remember the life of Omar Davis Jr. The murder victim graduated from the tertiary institution this past June. And according to a statement from President Dr. Jack Thomas, the cherished member of the university's honors community was described as an individual with a wonderful spirit, incredible energy, and boundless potential. Central State University offering condolences and continued prayers to Davis's family. In other crime news, police here in the capital are also investigating an attempted murder yesterday. Authorities report a man suffering from first-degree burns was taken to a Carmichael Road area clinic after occupants of a dark purple Nissan threw gasoline on him and set him ablaze before fleeing in an unknown direction. If you can assist detectives with any information on this incident, please contact the Criminal Investigation Department at 502-9991 or 328-TIPS or your nearest police station. Police also reporting the sexual assault of a 17-year-old female around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Authorities say the teenager was swimming at a beach in northwestern New Providence when she was approached by an unknown man who sexually assaulted her. However, police state the victim declined medical assistance and police action. Also, a 21-year-old male suspect believed to be responsible for an alleged attempted armed robbery is now in police custody thanks to Operation Ceasefire officers. A male and female were sitting in their vehicle in the parking lot of a beach in western New Providence shortly after 12 a.m. Tuesday when two male occupants of a gold-colored Honda Accord pulled a black handgun on them, attempting to rob them. The suspects then attempted to flee towards the beach when they saw officers on mobile patrol. The officers observed the male suspect, who was dressed in dark clothing, running away and jumping into the water. The suspect was taken into custody a short time later. Police are also appealing to the public for their assistance in locating the second suspect in this incident, who escaped the scene on foot.
Hi, this is Chief Meteorologist Basil Dane with a tropical weather update brought to you by BTC and CBS Bahamas. In the tropics, that Sahara does seem to be a bit too much for those tropical waves that are trekking westward across the Atlantic. The first one, which was over the highlands of West Africa last evening, was quite impressive then, but has since fallen apart in terms of its shower structure and continues to move towards the west between 10 and 15 miles per hour. A second one in the middle of the Atlantic. Again, some moderate convection associated with it. We don't expect any development of this system over the next 5 days. A third one now just between Puerto Rico and Hispaniola. Right about here, you can see two pockets of convection, one over Hispaniola, the other over Puerto Rico, but that is not expected to survive as it continues to trek westward at 15 miles per hour. The fourth and most impressive one continues in the Caribbean Sea there, and it's now moving over the Yucatan Peninsula. That's where most of the convection is right now. Our computer models are suggesting that once it's survived the crossing of the Yucatan Peninsula and moved into the southwest Gulf of Mexico, some development is very likely to happen, and that has about a 20% chance. This has been your ZNS Tropical Weather Update, brought to you by BTC and CBS Bahamas.
Gateway's digital platform gets a new edition and a special meeting on migration. We'll be back after the break.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this one, sis.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
What? Check old girl, boy. You say she getting married?
Oh, man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them...
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
Mealtime rules. Don't serve yourself first. Do not eat with your mouth open. Don't rest your elbows on the table. Don't make noise when eating. Does not apply when enjoying KFC buckets. When we bucket together, we are as we really are.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
To think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem. Just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
Thanks for staying with us. The first regional climate change conference held at the Baja Resort for the past 2 days is now history. Lloyd Allen joins us live from the conference center tonight on what regional leaders were able to accomplish. Good evening, Lloyd.
Well, good evening, Germanita, and good evening, Bahamas. Of course, at this point, all roads lead to Egypt come November. But following this conference, the Prime Minister, during his closing remarks, said that, there's a draft summary that's expected to be issued to many of these regional heads by week's end. Additionally, this event is also intended to be an annual event. Standing here with us is Charles Hamilton. He's an advisor on climate change at the Office of the Prime Minister. And, of course, you sat in during the press briefing recently that represented 4 regional heads. That's from the Bahamas, from Grenada, Barbados, and Dominica as well. Obviously, an aggressive approach to this issue of climate change called the climate crisis. What were some of the major takeaways in your opinion?
Yeah, I'd say that some of the major takeaways were really that these leaders are fired up and they're ready to go ahead and combat this issue of the climate crisis swiftly and going into COP27. What we want to go ahead and do is ensure that there is funding available to address the significant loss and damages that are experienced in our region. And I think that the prime ministers who were here today expressed that very, very clearly, that we need support to address the loss and damage that our various countries are experiencing now and from future storms. We've also talked about ways how we can go ahead and procure much needed equipment, food and supplies to be able to address the climate crisis, so that way our people can be able to survive after a storm has traveled. We also talked about innovative means to be able to reduce the interest paid on loans so that we're not being punished for a climate disaster occurring in our country and that interest being put on our people. So I know that the note that we're going to put together and share among the heads will be something that really brings together all of their efforts and the plans going into COP, and that will be a key document for us moving forward.
Also a significant point, obviously many of these government leaders indicated that this is not a government issue, but an issue for the region and for people to really take initiatives to protecting the places we call home.
Yes, I think that what people get it mixed up is that climate change is not an environmental issue. Climate change is not a government issue. It's a whole of people issue. We need to protect people. We need to protect our environment, and we need to protect all of the resources that we've been given. And I think that at the end of the day, when we put people right at the focus of this, and that when we as people recognize that we must be at the center of this fight, that we have to support our governments, we need to support the NGOs, we need to support all the groups that are fighting to ensure that our lives and livelihoods can continue. We enjoy a particular way of life, and climate change is impacting that. And so I'm looking forward for persons in the Bahamas to talk about the issue of climate change and find ways that you can engage with your government.
And of course, that's a wrap up here at the Bahama Resort. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Thanks, Lloyd. Also making national news tonight, government's continuing its multi-million-dollar digitization initiative across the public service, and customers at the Department of Labor are the newest beneficiaries. That story tonight from our Carla Palmer.
After months of initial setup and subsequent operational testing, My Gateway, an online digital platform, has an added service, the Department of Labor, with the launch of notification of vacancy. Director of Labor Robert Farquharson is boasting of the initiative.
What that means is simply this: the process for the application, processing, and distribution of labor certificates has gone digital and available to the residents and citizens of the Bahamas online.
Prior to digitization, some 30,000 work permits were processed manually each year. Now, with the click of a mouse, the ease of doing business will reportedly be realized, with the service more easily accessible and the process transparent. Minister of Labor, the Honorable Keith Bell, is heralding the moment and some benefits to be accrued.
The new service will enable employers to apply for a labor certificate, upload all of the supporting documents to facilitate the application, pay for the service, and obtain the labor certificate from any place in the world. In addition to significantly reducing the time of the process of the application, the new system will also allow the staff of the Department of Labor to have digital access to data that will reduce fraud and attempts by unscrupulous persons to have multiple applicants applying for the same job.
Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Economic Affairs, Wade Watson, has responsibility for the implementation of the government's My Gateway system. To be conducted in real time, Watson is promising the information and transactions to be safe and secure.
Also seeking to launch National CERT, which is expected to be fully operational by September of this year. But currently the Department of Transformation and Digitization, and then also we have our Department of Transformation unit, which also will facilitate us in securing and making certain that the system is secure.
Since its launch in 2021, there are reportedly almost 85,000 users subscribing to My Gateway, both here in the Bahamas and in 66 other countries around the world. Already, the Bahamas has developed 48 services for 13 government agencies locally, and the work continues. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
Irregular migration, a topic of meetings between government and officials of the International Organization on Migration today. The talks come from a reported rise of Haitians and Cubans crossing the region and on the heels of last month's boating tragedy near New Providence, where 17 Haitian migrants died at sea following a failed human smuggling operation. The IMO's Director for Central and Northern America and the Caribbean, Michelle Klein-Solomon, explains how the UN agency can support the Bahamas in its migration agenda while highlighting the, quote, assistance voluntary return for migrants as an alternative to deportation.
We will be exploring how we can help the government of Bahamas, everything toward speeding up the processing in the migration ministry of claims and offering, we have tools available that are used in many countries in the region that can help fast track the consideration of claims so people know what their status is. We run programs that are called Assisted Voluntary Return and Reintegration. This is an alternative to deportation for people who have been found to be ineligible to remain legally in a country. Rather than being deported back to their country of origin, we sometimes are able to work out arrangements where they can choose voluntarily to go home, which means they do not receive a deportation stamp in their passports.
The IOM director and her team will also be meeting with other government agencies during their visit.
We'll talk later with other ministries, for example, disaster management, about disaster risk reduction and things of that sort. But with the migration team here, these are the kinds of things that we'll be talking about. We also have some training and capacity building that we are looking to bring online. That's for line ministries, whether border officials, customs officials, even consular officials, a whole host.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Stay with us.
Shopping online isn't new to the market, but gaining access to affordable healthcare products at the click of a button is the greatest customer experience. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies Limited gives access to a complete customer journey, from shopping in our retail store on 9th Terrace, Centerville, to shopping online at your convenience from work or from the comfort of your home. Offering delivery and pickup options. Remember, if it's healthcare, it's here. Shop online today.
Minister Philip Davis, along with Education Minister Glenys Hanna-Martin, State Minister Zane Lightbourne, and Works Minister Alfred Sears recently toured 8 public schools in New Providence undergoing extensive structural repairs. Prime Minister Davis answers the #1 question as teachers and students prepare to return to the classroom in a couple of weeks.
I'm confident that the schools will be ready in the context that optimal work that is necessary to ensure that the safety of the students in the environment in which they'll be receiving education and the environments in which teachers will be imparting knowledge are safe. A lot of these schools require redevelopment as opposed to just general repairs. A number of them, like T.A. Thompson, has a complete redevelopment. A number of schools, and we are going to be doing it incrementally, but schools will be sufficiently prepared to have a safe environment in which teachers and students could coexist.
Minister Glenys Hanna-Martin is grateful for the support.
I don't think that a Prime Minister has previously toured schools, and certainly not in the manner that we've seen since he took office last year in September. And so I'm very pleased to know that the process of education and infrastructural redevelopment has the full support of the highest political office, which is the Prime Minister. I want to thank my colleague, the Minister of Works, and I was just saying to him, I say, boy, y'all got plenty love, because as you move through these schools, you see the extraordinary resources that are being invested, the extraordinary energy and effort by contractors, and it's just a joyful experience.
time to save with a new perspective, where the focus is on values and principles, and people are just as important as profits, where we believe in democracy and equality, and your vote counts, where profits are shared with our members, who are also our owners, to ensure that by working together, we all win, where education of our members and training our staff are one of our highest priorities, where we serve our members' needs through continued cooperative initiatives because of our concern for the communities in which we live. Join more than 40,000 Bahamians who have made the smarter choice. Join the movement. Join a credit union. People helping people to help themselves.
A number of Grand Bahamians have built lifelong relationships with international guests through the People to People program. Charles LaRota shares why it's time for Bahamians to join in on this life-changing initiative.
First of all, it's something that's essential. When people travel and they go to a place where they're not known or they don't know anybody, it's comforting to know that there's somebody there that you can call on, that you can feel like you have a friend at the destination. And over the years with the People to People program, we have developed a lot of friendships, and it's almost like family that we have developed. But, you know, the People to People program came out of an existing natural thing that Bahamians did. We realized the importance of tourism many years ago. And Bahamians were always hosting through the lodges, through the churches, through other international organizations. And so when the ministry made it legal, like Eddie Minnis said in this song, the ministry done legalized People to People, it became official, and it really worked. It's an excellent program. My favorite part about being in the program was meeting persons of similar interests on an international scale where you can expand your interests. And that has worked for a lot of the persons in the program because you get to learn more and grow your interests and grow your business with the experience of persons from other countries. The minute you say the Bahamas throughout the world, it's like doors open for you. And that is because of the natural warmth of the people in the Bahamas. And I would encourage every Bahamian to join the People to People program, do the Bahama Host course so that you are familiar with your Bahamian history, geography, and whatever, and join the People to People program because it puts you directly in contact with persons from around the globe. And when they come here, it gives them a wealth of experience that they go back home and brag about it.
For more information on how you can sign up for People to People, visit Bahamas.com. I'm Joshua Robbins, and this is Tourism Today.
Sizzling summer specials at Super Value this week include Mahatma long grain rice, 5 pounds, $3.99. Campbell's Chunky Soups, 19 ounces, $2.79. Olivia Cooking Oil, 48 ounce, $3.99. Whole chickens, $1.99 per pound. Fresh tomatoes, $1.79 per pound. Donate your change to help feed the Humane Society animals at Super Value and quality supermarkets.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Hello, summer. Escape into summer when you fuel up with Shell. Every time you purchase $20 gas, you're entered to win your share of over $50,000 in cash prizes and fantastic trips, including a staycation at Grand Island Exuma, a shopping spree in Miami, and a 4-day trip to Las Vegas to see John Legend live. To enter, fuel up at Shell with $20. Go to winwithshellbahamas.com and let the fun begin. Say hello, summer with Shell today. Conditions apply. Hello, summer.
No big changes in COVID-19 hospitalization cases. 30 individuals are receiving treatment for the virus tonight, with only one of them detained in the intensive care unit. Meantime, 4 new infections have been reported here in New Providence, 2 new cases with locations pending, and 1 new case each in Grand Bahama and Abaco. 6 men and 2 women make up the new 8 cases. And since thousands of students will head back to the classroom on August 29th, 10-year-old Nathaniel Pinder isn't taking any chances, ensuring he's ready to fight the COVID-19 virus. He told Arladon Davis why he got his Pfizer vaccine.
With the full support of his parents, 10-year-old Nathaniel Pinder walked into the vaccination center at the Mullet Marathon, eager to get his first dose of the Pfizer vaccine. Nathaniel, who was asthmatic, sanitized his hands and waited in line before his name was called. A visibly nervous Nathaniel says he was not pressured by anyone to make this decision.
The vaccine helps your immune system and it helps your body so then you won't get COVID that bad, and if you do, you won't have to be hospitalized. I just want to go get it, then I can protect me and my family.
All of Nathaniel's immediate family members are fully vaccinated. His mother, Stankisha Pinder, says she is proud that her son took this bold step that could not only save him from the deadly COVID-19 virus, but encourage others in his position to do the same.
Nathaniel has dealt with respiratory issues in his earlier childhood up to now, and as a virus came around that attacked the respiratory system, I knew that my decision was when it's his time, when they bring the pediatric vaccine, that he will get the vaccine shot. Like a parent, I try to give my children choices in life, and knowing that he wanted to make a difference and be safe, it was a very pleasant moment for me.
Head physician Dr. Roland Hamilton says at least 100 children come into this vaccination center here at the Mullet Marathon with their parents daily to get the jab.
This has actually been a very good rollout for us here. I think parents have been coming and they have been doing. We expect now, as school is about to start, we would get even more, and we are prepared for that. The government has done an excellent job. We are doing all we can to make it as facile for parents to come. It's a very, very welcoming environment. The nurses are excellent. The team is a very good team. And the vaccines are extremely safe for our children.
Nathaniel is expected to get his second dose of the Pfizer vaccine on Tuesday, August 30th. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm LaDawn Davis.
As we head to the break, we'd like to thank all of our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
This is Personique Role from Island News Network, where we're always in the know. We're investigating Island Game, and what we want to know is how they doing what they doing. Now, the news on the street is that there are 13 Percy pension plans where you get paid $1,000 every week for a year. Now, I got my man on the ground to find out how true this is. Hey, we live.
Yeah, I was just checking on something.
How Island Game doing what they doing?
And listen, now this ain't no fake news. The Island Game have 13 different pension plans. 13! All you gotta do is put $20 on your verified Island Game account.
Can you confirm this information?
See it right there?
Incredible. There you go. There's a story here, and now you're in the know.
At the Nature Conservancy, we believe in working with fishermen and communities in order to improve the sustainability of Queen Conch in the Bahamas.
The crux of the issue here is that there are not enough mature conch staying in the water to reproduce and produce enough offspring to sustain the fishery into the future. So the project is to visit a number of fishermen in different parts of the Bahamas and showed them how to do the research on the Queen Conch and determine what may be the best proxy indicator of maturity by measuring multiple different parameters.
These engagements give fishermen and communities an opportunity to see how scientific research is conducted and be a part of that process. By the end, fishermen are asking for more information on how they can further be involved in research.
Knowledge is power. You know, a lot of people want power, but they don't want to get the knowledge. I think what you're all doing is real helpful for us to give us knowledge. Can I learn something from this meeting today?
We hope that by conducting these engagements, the Bahamas can be an example of how communities researchers, and government can come together to work towards sustainable fisheries, not only here in the Bahamas, but around the world.
What? Check old girl, boy. You say she getting married? Oh, man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them...
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
I was actually born into farming. My grandfather, who is 80 years old, he's a first-generation farmer. 3 generations later, I decided to go into farming. So we do have 2 operating farms at this time, the one in Nassau and the one in Andros. This season, Access Accelerator assisted us in funding our strawberry project here on Andros. With us being able to access the Fish and Farmers Grant, it has actually given us the capital that we needed to start this farming season for our strawberry crop. We do believe that people eating organic food is very important. We want to offer safe food and organic food. Some persons are still shocked that we've been existing for 8 years. Outside of having to come to our website to make purchases, if we can get more of our products to our clients, we'd be happy to do that, and local distribution would help us with that. I can tell you the industry is not attractive for young people. However, if you are passionate about something, you will definitely be able to excel in that area. And at this point, for me, it's fun to be a farmer in the Bahamas.
Sometimes you need to make a classic move. That's why for all of life's moments, there's one classic credit card. Experience cashless purchasing power and chip and pin security with your RBC Visa Classic credit card. Manage your day-to-day expenses as well as life's little surprises. Apply today at rbc.com/Caribbean/Visa Classic and enjoy 1 year's free membership. Conditions apply.
Awesomely, this is a beautiful experience. I can't lie. This is my first time doing this sort of charity work, and I mean, it feels good to help out, you know. There's a can drive coming up and other initiatives are part of the Giving a Helping Hand campaign, and I encourage anyone that's willing to lend their support in any way, shape, or form to come through and give of your time.
The United States, Latin America, Canada, the United Kingdom, and Europe are the destinations the Ministry of Tourism will target next month as a part of its global sales and marketing missions that will run through 2023, starting in Florida and New York in September. Tourism's plan is to meet with wholesalers, travel specialists, media contacts, potential investors, airlines, and corporate stakeholders to engage questions and answers about the Bahamas, learn about new developments, and experience authentic Bahamian culture. Tourism Investments and Aviation Minister and Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, feels that as the catalyst for the country's growth and development for the past 50-plus years, tourism is now focused on maximizing the return on our investment. Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Jimenita. We're under cloudy skies. The temperature quite warm, 90 degrees at this hour. Relative humidity 64%. We have northeast winds at 12 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,015.3 millibars. That is 30.10 inches, and it is rising. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 86 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Green Toll, Key Abaco, Marshall Abaco at 87 degrees. 90 degrees in the Berry Islands. 88 in Alistown, Bimini, 89 in Harbor Island and Roxanne, Eleuthera, Black Point, Exuma, Camp Space at Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros, all at 88 degrees. Alistown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Room Key, 89 degrees, 88 in Georgetown, Exuma, 87s in Rygut Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Megawana, 88. Acklands, 88. Matutani, Nago, 87. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 84 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter in the Northwest and Central Islands. Tonight through Thursday, the winds are going to be south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights around 2 to 4 feet. High tide will take place at 1:07 in the morning with a low tide at 7:23 tomorrow morning. And for the southeast Bahamas into Thursday, east to southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And as we roll you into Friday, the winds become southeast to south. This is in the northwest Bahamas. The speeds are unchanged at 10 to 15 knots, meaning the wave heights should be around 2 to 4 feet. Low tide on Friday takes place at 8:14 in the morning with a high tide at 2:43 in the afternoon. And for the central and southeastern islands on Friday, east to southeast winds, they will be increasing in speeds 12 to 18 knots. The wave heights building 3 to 6 feet. Hence, we'll put a caution flag in place for the central and southeastern islands on Friday. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
You know I will be here when I come to you. You gave me food, clothes, and protection too. You said don't worry about a thing, just show your loyalty, the comfort and beauty. When I look around, I got papers and passport.
That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, the extended weather forecast is still ahead.
You can clean me off and I
for hurricane season. We got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Before teens get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
Who that is, Daddy?
Looks like the census people. They ain't coming in here to find out all of my business.
But Daddy, in school they say everybody should do the census.
Oh no, that's the census, people. I ain't got no time for that.
Mommy, everyone is supposed to do the census. How else we gonna know how much people is in the Bahamas?
How else we gonna know where to build clinics and schools?
Or how many disabled?
Or how many need welfare?
Well, I mean, I never thought about it like that.
Wow, I never looked at it like that.
Come on, Mommy, the count depends on you.
Let's do this, Daddy. The count depends on you.
AID has everything you need and more to complement your home's decor. Luxurious bamboo bath towels, face towels from $1.25 and bath towels from $5.45. Shower curtains from $2.54 and organizers in stylish finishes. Bath mat sets from $7.27 in a multitude of styles and colors. Bed sheet sets from $9.95 and 7-piece comforter sets from $49.95. Doormats from $1.93 with matching runners and hundreds of area carpets. Sofa covers from $19.95, plain and crushed sheer curtains from $5.25, and thousands of panels to choose from. Blinds from $7.02 and curtain rods from $2.89. Ceramic and porcelain dishes, tablecloths, napkins, placemats, utensils, and more. A wide selection of drinking glasses, including elegant stemware, candle holders, vases, and crystal. Full-size mirrors, decorative pictures, and picture frames. AID, Wolf Road, and the Mall at Marathon open late and on Sundays to serve your decorating needs. AID, all you really need and more.
When it comes to picking a pharmacy that is convenient and reliable, only one name comes to mind: Wilmax Pharmacy, a team of trusted and trained pharmacists ready to serve you with all your pharmaceutical and over-the-counter product needs. We carry beauty and hair supplies, as well as household and everyday supplies. Open 7 days a week from 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. NIV drug plan is accepted and delivery service is available. So call 323-1037 today or visit Wilmax Pharmacy on Ponciana Drive opposite the University of the Bahamas.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call?
Tiles on everything.
I was actually born into farming. My grandfather, who is 80 years old, he's a first-generation farmer. 3 generations later, I decided to go into farming. So we do have 2 operating farms at this time, the one in Nassau and the one in Andros. This season, Access Accelerator assisted us in funding our strawberry project here on Andros. With us being able to access the Fish and Farmers Grant, it has actually given us the capital that we needed to start this farming season for our strawberry crop. We do believe that people eating organic food is very important. We want to offer safe food and organic food. Some persons are still shocked that we've been existing for 8 years. Outside of having to come to our website to make purchases, if we can get more of our products to our clients, we'd be happy to do that, and local distribution would help us with that. I can tell you the industry is not attractive for young people. However, if you are passionate about something, you will definitely be able to excel in that area. And at this point, for me, it's fun to be a farmer in the Bahamas.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your Wednesday Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, talking sports news with the WNBA playoffs set to kick off later this evening. Bahamian basketball superstar Jonquel Jones and her Connecticut Sun gearing up for another potential deep postseason run. Their first-round matchup against the Dallas Wings locked in for tomorrow at 8 p.m. The Rating League MVP joining ESPN's NBA Today to talk about our expectations for the team.
Well, we definitely have new pieces in Alyssa Thomas and Courtney Williams. So I think those 2 pieces are huge for us. They will definitely add a little bit of change in there and give us, I guess, more dynamic scoring, ability to be able to push the ball up the court faster. I think the format also helps us as well. Instead of sitting at home watching, you kind of get a feel for the playoffs as you played great games earlier. I think that'll help us as well. But when you look back at our matchup against Chicago last season, there's, very minuscule, very small things that, shifts the game. And, we could have easily been up 2-0 versus being down. So, just focusing on the small things and understanding the little things really matter in the playoffs.
Now the Sun struggled in the regular season versus the Wings going 1-2. Jones on what they need to do to emerge victorious in their first-round series.
In my WNBA career, we've lost in those single elimination games, so we've been there before. And then we've also been the team that's sitting at home waiting and watching. So I've, been able to kind of feel it out and been on both ends of the spectrum. But I like being able to just get in there and starting the playoffs when everybody else does. I just understanding, you know, the type of team that they are. They have a lot of people that can really catch fire with Mabry and big post presence down low. So we just have to be ready to play. But ultimately, we understand that, you know, when we go back and we watch those games, that we can be better. And so that's our first goal, is making sure that we put our best foot forward when we play against them. And then, like I said before, in the playoffs, you have to step the game up.
In more basketball news, the next window of the FIBA World Cup qualifier is fast approaching. The first game taking place here in Nassau on Thursday, August 25th against Venezuela. Members of Team Bahamas are locked in and ready for the showdown.
Oh, it's amazing, like just getting a lot of chemistry together. Guys getting to know each other and, you know, trying to gel to put it together for the FIBA World Cups.
And, you know, we knocking on the Olympic doorstep with maybe our best team ever, so the opportunity for the country is never been bigger. The FIBA World Championships are next year. We have a chance to qualify, and it's huge for the Bahamas. It's huge for each and every one of us, because it's a dream. We all want to, you know, one of my dreams would be to see even if I'm not on the team, to see the Bahamas in the Olympics and in the FIBA World Championships. So it starts now. We're going to need the support of the public, the government, the corporate, everybody, one nation, and let's try to get this team and on our flag on the big stage.
A major weekend ahead for motorsports in the country as the Bahamas is seeking to field a team for the FIA Motorsports Games in France. As many of the prospects were members of the Bahamas Motorsports Association's educarting program, President David McLaughlin spoke about its growth over the past several years.
I think it's fantastic. We started, Susan Shelf and myself, educarting, with the emphasis on the three first letters, education, working in Doris Johnson, C.I. Gibson, and then BTVI, training kids in karting, but also in other life skills. And really, we never imagined then that it would progress to them becoming involved in an international sport. And then just before the pandemic, the FIA established the FIA Motorsport Games, which to all practical purposes is the Motorsport Olympics. We can't use it, the term Olympics, but we are affiliated to the IOC. So it's giving youngsters the opportunity to develop their skills and go and compete on the international stage.
And while he isn't giving any concrete dates, McLaughlin says plans are well on the way to see the return of the Bahamas Speed Week.
On Monday with the Prime Minister, who in his previous role as DPM was very, very much involved in the Speed Week revivals that we did in 2010, 11 and 12, and it was good for the country. A lot of very influential people came. We put independently audited $803,000 back into the community each year, so that's quite a lot of money, and it certainly raised the profile. And it's not new. I mean, where I'm standing now on Oaks Field was where the Speed Weeks originally took place back in the 50s and 60s.
That was Look at Your Sports on this Wednesday. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
This week's specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets are hot, hot, hot. First Choice Sugar, 4 pounds, $2.49. Cardinal Evaporated Milk, 14 ounce, $1.19. Sunny Delight Smooth or Tangy, 64 ounce, 2 for $5. Sweet Gal Apples, 4 for $1.19. Premium boneless strip steaks, $8.99 per pound. Donate your change to help feed the Humane Society animals at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Awesomely, this is a beautiful experience. I can't lie. This is my first time doing this sort of charity work, and I mean, it feels good to help out, you know. There's a can drive coming up and other initiatives are part of the Giving a Helping Hand campaign, and I encourage anyone that's willing to lend their support in any way, shape, or form to come through and give of your time.
This is Personique Role from Island News Network, where we're always in the know. We're investigating Island Game, and what we want to know is how they doing what they doing. Now, the news on the street is that there are 13 Percy pension plans where you get paid $1,000 every week for a year. Now, I got my man on the ground to find out how true this is. Hey, we live.
Yeah, I was just checking on something.
How Island Game doing what they doing?
And listen, now this ain't no fake news. The Island Game have 13 different pension plans. 13! All you gotta do is put $20 on your verified Island Game account.
Can you confirm this information?
See it right there?
Incredible. There you go. There's a story here, and now you're in the know.
Honey, everything okay?
Everything's fine.
Shop online for free in-store pickup in 2 hours or less.
When you combine decadence, luxury, passion, and attention to detail, you've described Café Channy Noel and Patisserie. Signature authentic French macarons, croissants, pastries for breakfast and lunch will take you on a European Epicurean journey. Enjoy your favorite handcrafted cocktails, coffees, cappuccinos, espressos, and lattes. Life is sweet at Café Channy Noel.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at whether that persistent troughing across the northwest Bahamas will continue to generate pockets of showers and isolated thunderstorms through part of tomorrow. Elsewhere across the central and southeastern islands, high pressure will remain in control of our weather. Tonight we're going in for patchy clouds, but there's still the possibility of a stray shower, with the low temperature getting down to a warm 79 degrees. And tomorrow we're looking at a couple of morning thunderstorms in spots, otherwise a partly sunny day with a high temperature reaching 91 degrees. Extended weather forecast, those 91s, they're going to hold right into Saturday, and then you'll see a gradual dip as we head into the early part of next week, but a lot more sunshine in our forecast as we head into Friday afternoon, and through the weekend is looking good, but because of the very, very warm temperatures, those little isolated showers in the afternoon are still possible, and once again, we're asking you to remain hydrated. Jimenita?
Thanks, Basil. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Everyone has a legacy to create our own footprints in the sand. Although our stories others can't relate, that's what makes me who I am. I'm just like you, you're just like me. We're all no different, we're all the same. I'm just like you, you're just like me. We're all no different, we're all the same. We are ordinary, but extraordinary. We are ordinary people. We are ordinary, but extraordinary.
I just felt alone, and I said I have to do something just to keep my mind together and just, you know, make jokes and just laugh.
Limited mind is easy, baby. To get that ring, you know, easy thing, baby. Huh? That's what I'm saying, DJ. You can't let the people home, but listen to me, woman of God. Get a prayer closet in your room so that you and your husband can pray together. Because many people will think that they're happy for you, but they're not happy. All right? Ask God for spirit of discernment. Don't let everybody in your house Alright? When my family coming over, everybody be sliding and I'm sure they pouring from. They tell me they coming, I start warfaring. Because he ain't gonna bring no passport in here. One of my friends, she came at me. The bank side, the caller. Then next thing I looked up and said, the call me. Come on.
Sherilyn Woods is known to many as Miss Giggles. She is popular on the social media platform. But life for her was not as simple as many would think. Hidden behind all the jokes lies a story of survival, pain, and depression.